Hi everyone, welcome to my first online class ever. This is the Vinyasa Flow class for MCY, which you are more than welcome to practice at home, however you like, whenever you like, or join me on Wednesdays at the normal time, if that's the time you had originally allocated. So let's just start by sitting in a comfortable seated position. So however you like, however you find it comfortable. If you've got maybe a block or a blanket, you can roll up and just sit on, just to raise your hips a little bit higher. Then whenever you're ready, closing your eyes, take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Just start lengthening the spine as if there's a thread pulling the top of your head towards the ceiling, feeling nice and tall and long. And then whenever you're ready, slowly relaxing the space between the eyebrows, feeling your eyes heavy in their sockets, unclenching the jaw and relaxing the whole mouth, feeling the shoulders move away from the ears. Feel your chest rising with each breath in and dropping with each breath out. Relaxing the tummy and the hips. Following the breath, checking where it's going today, how it feels. As you breathe in, following that path, following it along the lungs. And as you breathe out, feeling the chest contracting and the breath coming out through the nose again. Checking whether it feels short and shallow, perhaps nice and long. Whichever one it is, you're not trying to change it. You're just acknowledging how it feels today. Focusing solely on the breath. If your awareness has started to drift a little bit, just bring it back. And while you're here, nice and relaxed, I'd like to invite you to create a mantra for today's class. It could be whatever resonates with you today. It could be just a simple sentence that you can repeat to yourself throughout the practice. Maybe just take outside when you go into your normal life again. I'd like to suggest, I can do this. You can repeat it to yourself a few times just now. Maybe on your in-breath or the out-breath, whichever one you prefer. Just as you inhale, I can do this. I can do this. Just say it to yourself a few times, letting it sink in, letting it become part of your breathing. And then whenever you're ready, taking a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Take another deep breath in and a big sigh out. Bring the palms of your hands together, rubbing them gently to warm up a little bit before you bring them in front of your eyes, protecting your eyes from the light. And then slowly blink your eyes open inside your palms. Let them adjust to the little light coming through. And whenever you're ready, nice and slowly, just let your hands start to come down towards your lap. And welcome to your practice. We're going to start on all fours. So a strong table pose. So just whenever you're ready, joining me here. Bring your hands about shoulder distance apart. Bring your knees about hip width apart. Give yourself a little wiggle if that helps, just to find the center. And then whenever you're ready, strong core, long back, and as you breathe in, dropping the belly button towards the mat, and breathe in, bring the chest forwards. And as you breathe out, starting to tuck the tailbone, press against the hands, tuck the chin. Breathing in, come forwards, look ahead. Pressing against the hands and palms are active. And as you breathe out, tucking the tailbone, pressing the mat away. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. On your next breath in, just coming back to your table pose. Nice and strong. And as you breathe out, sending your hips back all the way towards the back of the mat. As you breathe in, starting to lift the head, pressing against the tops of the legs. Reach up. And breathe out, come down. As you breathe in, pressing up again. Really reaching almost like a big yawn. And breathe out. Breathe in, press up. And breathe out. From here, breathing in, sending your hands forwards. Pressing against the palms. Tucking your toes behind you. You're going to come through to all fours and press the knees up the way. Engaging that core, nice and strong. And as you breathe out, start sending your chest towards the knees. And from there, sending the heels down. If you've landed too far away, you can take a step forwards. Or vice versa, if you're too close, just taking a nice step back. Keeping the back nice and long, maybe bending the knees at first, just to have that nice long line of the body. And breathe. On your next breath in, bending the knees, look forwards. Take steps towards the front of the mat, nice and slowly. Once you reach the top of the mat, breathe out, fold forwards. Breathing in, slowly pressing all the way up, reaching up towards the ceiling. And breathe out, fold forwards. From here, keeping the knees bent, maybe keeping the right hand on the mat. Gonna breathe in and send the left arm up. Your right knee will try to sneak past you. Bring it back. And breathe out, fold. Keeping your knees in place, breathing in, sending the right arm all the way up. And breathe out, down. As you breathe in, come into your halfway lift. Breathe out, step back into a plank. Breathing in, coming forwards. Breathe out, chaturanga or your variation, maybe bringing the knees to the mat. Maybe staying up high. Breathe out. Breathe in to an upper facing dog or a cobra. And breathe out, downward facing dog. So stay in your down dog for 5 full breaths. Maybe bend one knee, then the other.
just to give your legs a gentle stretch. Whenever you're ready, slightly bending the knees, look forwards and take small steps towards the hands. Once you reach the top of the mat, breathe out and fold forwards. And breathing in, slowly pressing all the way up, reaching up towards the ceiling. And breathe out, hands come down. Breathing in, really reaching up. Big yawn, big squeeze, and breathe out, fold forwards. As you breathe in, coming to your halfway lift. Breathe out, step back into your plank again. Nice and strong. Find your middle ground. Not keeping the hips up or bringing them down. Nice and strong, sending the heels towards the back. That will help you find a place. And as you breathe in, coming to your tippy toes. Breathe out, lowering all the way to the mat. And breathe in, cobra or upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Stay nice and strong, keep breathing. And as you breathe in, bending the knees, step forward towards the hands. And breathe out, fold all the way. Breathe in, slowly reaching up towards the ceiling. And breathe out, coming down. As you breathe in next, reaching all the way up. Breathe out, fold forwards. Let the hands come down towards the mat. If you're bending the knees, then that's okay. Just do whatever you need so that the palms are firmly on the mat, fully placed. Doesn't matter where your hips are sitting. And from here, I'm going to breathe in and send the chest forwards. So squeezing the hands, pressing them towards the back of the room. And breathe out, fold. On your next breath in, stepping back to your plank. And holding for a little bit, just a tiny bit. You can do it, you're nice and strong. I know you are. From your next breath in, pressing the hands away, bring the shoulder blades away from each other, starting to send the hips up, lifting the heels. And as you breathe out, slowly coming back into your down dog. Breathing in, pressing against the toes, start sending the chest forwards like a wave. And coming back into your plank. And breathe in, press up. Breathe out, roll back. One more time, breathe in, press against the toes, start lifting the hips. And roll forwards. And as you breathe out, press the hands away. Roll back into your down dog. As you breathe in, finding your focus, finding your balance on your left leg. As you breathe in and bring the right leg up. And as you breathe out, bringing the right knee to try and touch the nose. And breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, knee comes to try and find the nose. And breathe in, reach up. And breathe out, knee comes towards the nose and steps forwards. As you breathe in, pressing up in a high lunge. Keeping that left leg nice and strong. Leg is nice and straight. Hips are facing forwards. Right knee stays facing forwards with me. And breathe out. Bring the hands towards the mat. Pressing firmly against the hands. Bring that right foot off the mat. And breathe out into your three-legged dog. And slowly letting that right foot come down. Breathe in, bring the left leg all the way up. And breathe out, left knee comes to try and touch the nose. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, left knee towards the nose. And breathe in, reach up. Bring that left knee, comes to try and reach the nose. And then steps forwards. Finding your balance. Right leg nice and strong. Breathe in, press up. And breathe out. Hands towards mat. Pressing firmly against the hands. Bring that left foot off. Breathe out, press into your three-legged dog. Then slowly letting that foot come down towards the mat. And breathe. On your next breath in, bring the right leg all the way up. And as you breathe out, bringing that right foot forward, stepping it all the way to the front of the mat. If it has landed a bit further back, just helping it along with a hand. So you've got quite a nice long stance, and then letting the left knee slowly come down. Breathe in. Press up into your low lunge. As you breathe out, starting to send those hips forwards, just watching that the knee isn't going all the way, so keeping the knee in place. It's the hip joint that moves, it starts coming down. The legs are still nice and strong to hold you up. And as you breathe in, come back up, straightening that right leg, letting your hands come down towards the mat. Breathe out there, breathe in, send the chest forwards. And breathe out, fold over that right leg. Feel the length along the back of the leg. And breathe in. Press up, start bending that knee again. Tucking your toes on your left leg. Sending that leg straight. And breathe in. Press up into your high lunge again. And breathe out, hands towards the mat. Keeping your left hand on the mat nice and firmly. Keeping your right knee squeezed in. Breathe in, send the right arm all the way up. Keeping a nice long line along the back. Keeping that right knee squeezed in. And from here, trying to find your balance. Maybe coming onto the tips of the fingers on the left hand. Going to breathe in. Press up, facing the other way. And looking over the right hand. And on your next breath in, just bring that arm all the way up. If you're losing your balance like me, it's okay. Just take a moment and come back. And breathe out, hands to the mat. Press back into your three-legged dog. And then whenever you're ready, right foot comes all the way down. Breathing in, bring the left leg all the way up. As we breathe out, bringing that knee towards the nose, then taking a step forwards. Finding your place, and then letting the right knee come down. Breathe in, press up into a low lunge. Keeping the knee stacked over the ankle. Breathe out. And just let the hips slump a little bit. Working on that flexibility along the back of the leg. And then letting your hands come down towards the mat. Bring your hips up, straightening that left leg. Breathe in, extend the chest. Breathe out, fold forwards. Feel that extension along the back of the leg. It's really nice to feel it. And as you breathe in, starting to bend that knee, come forward, sending the right leg straight. Breathe in, press up. On your next breath out, letting the hands come down towards the mat. Planting the right hand firmly next to the left foot. You're going to breathe in and bring the left arm up. Keep squeezing that left knee in. Nice long line. From here, find your balance. Maybe just come onto the tips of the fingers. And as you breathe in next, you have to start coming up, looking over towards the back hand. And breathe out. Cartwheel your hands towards the mat. Press yourself back into your three-legged dog. And then letting that left foot come down towards the mat. Working on sending those hips all the way towards the back of the room. Pressing your hands away against the mat. Really pressing away. That will help you keep a nice long back. And then as you breathe in, bending the knees, look forwards and step or jump towards the hands. Breathe out, fold forwards. Keeping the right leg nice and long and starting to bend the left leg. So bringing the left heel a little bit higher up, but keeping both hips level to the mat. You're going to breathe in and reach up with the left hand. Maybe this throws you off balance. So you just bring the left hand to the hip. As you breathe in, you work on turning that chest. And breathe out, come down. Let the left hand come down too, and then whenever you're ready, bending the right leg, maybe bringing the right hand to the hip and sending that chest to face up. Or maybe you can reach up with the right hand. And breathe out, come down, fold forwards. As you breathe in, coming to your halfway lift. Breathe out, step back into a plank. And then whenever you're ready, breathe out, letting the knees come down. Go into your child's pose. Pressing against the hands. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out there. Breathe in, starting to come back to all fours. Tuck your toes behind you. And when you breathe out, back into your down dog. As you breathe in, bringing the right leg all the way up. And as you breathe out, right knee comes to try and touch the nose. And then the right foot steps forwards. Letting the left knee come down towards the mat again. This time, bringing the left hand in line with the right foot. Breathe in, reach up, squeeze that right knee in. Breathe there. And then just bringing the hand to the hip and starting to open up the right knee towards the outside. Not too far, just letting the knee roll out a little bit. Hopefully you can see this from here. And then just bringing the chest to open up. And breathe out, bring the knee back in. Straightening that leg, breathe in. Reach forwards with the chest, breathe out, fold forwards. Maybe this time your hammies are starting to feel a little bit looser. And this feels a lot easier and deeper. Maybe not. Whichever one, it's okay. And breathe in, come back up, start bending that knee, tucking your toes on your back leg. Breathe in, press up. As you breathe out, letting that left heel turn, about 45 degrees or so, letting the hips open up. Then letting your right hand come to rest on your right leg. Left hand reaches up and above. Although your chin is tucked, your gaze is towards the hand.
And breathe in, press through to center. Breathe out, hands towards the mat. Turning your toes on your left foot. Breathe in, press against the hands. Breathe out, plank. And from there, sending the hips all the way up. And breathe out, roll into your down dog. As you breathe in, bringing the left leg all the way up. Breathe out, bring it forwards. Step towards the front of the mat. Then letting the right knee come down towards the mat. And this time, bringing the right hand in line with the left foot. Bring your hand towards your small back. And you're going to let that hip up and to the side. Maybe look up. And as you breathe in, coming through to center, keeping that leg nice and long. You need to breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, fall forwards. And breathe. And on your next breath in, starting to bend the leg, look forward, stuck your toes on your back leg. Send up nice and low. Breathe in, press up into your high lunge again. This time, letting your right heel turn. And bringing the left arm towards the left thigh. Right arm reaches up and above. And as you breathe in, press through to center, towards your warrior two. Breathe out, cartwheeling the hands towards the mat. Send yourself back into your down dog. And breathe. As you breathe in, bend knees deep, look forward, step or jump towards the hands. And breathe out, fold all the way. Let your neck relax nice and long. When you breathe in, bending the knees deep, coming all the way into your chair pose. Tucking that tailbone, lifting the front of the pelvis, trying to get your core engaged and reaching up. Maybe stay here. Maybe on your next breath out, just lower a little bit more, keeping that tailbone tucked. Maybe breathe out and go a little bit lower. And then breathing out, folding all the way forwards. Breathing in, come into your halfway lift. Breathe out, step back into your plank. And from there, lifting onto the toes, sending your hips all the way up high. Breathe out, down dog. And as you breathe in, looking forwards, bend the knees, step or jump through to sitting. If you're working on your jump throughs, just taking one step at a time and coming to a seated position. Now my all-time favorite, and I know you're all missing this from class. We love it so much. So let's have some fun with our Navasanas. So whenever you're ready, as you breathe in, bringing the knees close to the chest. Maybe work here and giving them a cuddle. And breathe, keeping the back nice and long, keeping your toes off the floor. And your hands are helping prop you up. Maybe just let the toes touch the mat, just for balance. And you breathe in, send your arms all the way forward. Chest is upright, chest is lifting. The toes are there just for balance. Maybe you can start bringing the legs all the way up, parallel to the floor. Keep the chest lifting, keep the inner thighs squeezing in together. And as you breathe out, you lower, keeping the shoulders and ankles off the mat, and breathe in, press up. And breathe out. And breathe in, press up. And breathe out, down. And breathe in, press up. And breathe out, down. Breathe in, up. And breathe out, down. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, down. Breathe in, up. And give your knees a cuddle. Well done. Whew, I'm sweating a bit. Oh, it's getting hard. So squeezing your legs very close to you. Bring your hands forwards. You're going to use that to roll onto all fours. Now whenever you're ready, send your right arm forwards. You want to keep it nice and long along the body. And maybe you can start sending that left leg back, keeping the heel pressed back so that the leg engages, and breathe in. Soak everything in. Keep the core nice and long. And as you breathe out, knee and elbow come to touch. And breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out. And coming back down. Ooh. Breathing and sending the left arm towards the front of the mat. Left leg, right leg back. Whoa. And breathe out. Bring the elbow and the knee to touch. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Last one. Breathe out. Breathe in. And the hand comes down towards the mat. Well done. Send your hips back. Come into your child's pose. Take as many breaths as you need. And if you've forgotten about your mantra, now's the time to bring it back. Remind yourself of what you created at the start of the class and why it was relevant, and if maybe it can help you get through the next bits that we have to go through. And keep on breathing. On your next breath in, pressing against the hands, starting to lift the head. Bring yourself through to all fours whenever you're ready. Pressing the hands firmly against the mat. You're going to breathe in. Take a step back with the legs, keeping your shoulders nicely balanced on top of the wrists. And on your next breath in, you're going to come forwards. Hug the elbows in. Breathe out. Lower all the way. So keeping your head nice and long. Just going to lift mine so I can still talk you through it. And bring your hands under your shoulders. On your next breath in, squeezing the elbows in, you're going to just roll the shoulder blades all the way to meet each other around the back, and also roll them down. And feel how your chest just moves just from that shoulder action. Your chest just lifts. If you've got a nice longer back, nice and strong, maybe your hands even come off the mat. No need to do much. And it's all on your back and your front of the body to lift you without the help of the hands. And breathe out, come down. Breathe in, rolling those shoulder blades all the way down again. Lift. Maybe this time you can lift a little bit higher, just without using the hands. Might hurt a little bit, on the lower ribs, but it's okay, you get used to it basically. And breathe out, come down. On your next breath in, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to clasp the hands behind the back and send the hands towards the heels. So whenever you breathe in next, sending those hands towards the heels, feel the chest lifting. Maybe moves a little bit more than it did before, but keep sending those hands all the way towards the back of the room. And breathe. And breathe out, clasping the hands. Let them come down. Maybe even bring your hands as a pillow under your head. And just take a couple of breaths to let your back come back to normal. And then whenever you're ready, your hands under your shoulder blades again. We're going to press up onto all fours. So like we did in the cat-cow pose before, on your next breath in, you're going to let your belly drop, your chest open to the front of the room. Your hands are creating some resistance, so you're pressing the hands towards the heels and letting the chest move forwards as you do so. As you breathe out, tucking the tailbone, curl the spine, press all the way against the hands. And breathing in, getting that action again of the hands pulling back and your chest coming forwards. And breathe out, coming back to table pose. This time, you're going to bring the left leg off the mat. Maybe you bend that left knee and let the foot reach towards your buttocks. If you found your balance, maybe your right hand comes towards the hip. Maybe the right hand finds that back foot. And as you breathe in, you send that foot away. And let the the belly button drop. So from your cat-cow. And breathe. Whenever you're ready, breathe out. Slowly come down, slowly let go. Then breathing and bring the right leg this time. Bending the right knee. Find your balance. Maybe that left hand comes to meet the foot. As you breathe in, you send the foot back. And keep gripping. And breathe. And slowly come down. Ooh, that's a toughie. Takes a lot of balance, a lot of focusing. Coming back to your table pose, so pressing against the hands nice and long. Just trying to get back to a nice long back as much as we can to prevent any injury. Take a few breaths there. And then whenever you're ready, tucking your toes behind you. Breathe in, lifting the knees. Breathe out, rolling back into your down dog. Adjust anything that needs adjusting just now. And whenever you're ready, breathing and bring the right leg all the way up. Breathe up, right knee towards the nose and steps forwards. Breathe into your high lunge. So nice, strong high lunge that we're going to do. You're going to imagine that you have a beach ball in front of you. And you really want that beach ball to yourself. So you're gonna grip it, really reach, really grab it. So you feel like you're squeezing in all this inner space in here, really squeezing it in. Your shoulder blades move away from each other and come forwards a little bit. And as you breathe in, you send your hands back and expand the chest. And breathe out, grip that beach ball. You really want to play with it. And breathe in, reach the chest forwards. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. Good. Then clasping your hands behind your back. On your next breath in, you're going to send the chest all the way up and the hands towards the mat. And breathe out and clasping the hands. Let the arms come up a little bit just for your back to go back to normal. And breathe out, hands towards the mat. Press back into your three-legged dog. And then down into your down dog. On your next breath in, left leg comes all the way up. Breathe out, knee comes towards the nose. Then stepping that foot forward. Stay nice and strong in your high lunge. Breathe in, press up. Breathe out, hands come down. We're going to play with that beach ball again. So breathe in, lengthen the chest. Breathe out, grip that ball. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, really press away. Breathe in. And breathe out, just letting your shoulders come back to normal. Clasping the hands behind you. Breathe in, lift the chest. Send the hands towards the mat. And on your next breath in, and clasping the hands, bring them up for a second, and breathe out, come down. Pressing against the hands, come back into your down dog. On your next breath in, bring the right leg all the way up. As you breathe out, you're going to bring the right knee towards the nose, but this time, you're going to let your shin and calf come down towards the mat. Now, here's where we have to find the balance. So, you might be working on it. So maybe you're sitting quite up high here and you're half pigeon. If you are and you've got a block, a blanket, a bunch of books, now is the time to go and grab them. Just bring them under your hip. That's staying up high. Keep your chest lengthening forwards. And you're just working on opening up that hip space. If your hip is quite mobile, you can maybe walk your foot forwards, keeping the hips squared. So maybe the knee needs to come out a little bit so that both hips are facing forwards. And maybe you breathe out and just lower yourself, keeping the chest tilted forwards a little bit to prevent any crunching on the lower back. If you're quite comfortable here, you can keep on walking that foot forwards. If you're walking the foot forwards, I do suggest you lift the hips, because if you just roll them, you might hurt yourself. So lift the hips, adjust whatever you need adjusting, then lower from there. Bring your hands forwards and work on that hip opening. So we're all here, we're all standing upright in whichever variation we're doing, and you're breathing. Keep on breathing. Keep that left leg nice and long. Now, if you're quite comfortable here, maybe you can just lower your hands, send your chest forwards, really work on that opening. If this folding is not happening just today or just yet, just keep your hands up here and keep pressing the heels of the hands towards the back of the mat, just to bring your chest forwards. Create a little bit of a heart opening, even if it's a very slight one. If you've got your forearms on the mat, pressing against the palms to bring yourself a little bit higher up, words. Then pressing against the hands, we all join here. Tucking your toes on your back leg. Breathe out, fold forwards, breathe in. Pressing against the hands. And going back into your three-legged dog. So when you press against the hands, really bringing that leg up with you. And whenever you're ready, breathe in, bring the left leg up. And as you breathe up, left knee comes to try and touch the nose. And then shin and calf come all the way down. We're finding where we are on the side. Maybe again you bring a block or a bunch of books, or wherever you have, maybe clothes that can roll up. And you find your place here. Maybe you're working up here. Maybe your hands come down towards the mat. Maybe you've got full palms against the mat and you're just working here. If your hip touches the mat quite nicely, maybe just starting to work on opening that hip and bringing the left foot forwards, and the knee opens up to the side, hips are facing forwards. Then bring the hands to the mat and bring your chest forwards a little bit and just work on opening up the space on the hips. Maybe you're quite happy here and you'd like to stay. Maybe you can bring your forearms to the mat. Remember that both sides of the body are not equal, so it might feel like one side can do more or less than the other. That's why we work on balancing both sides. So bring the palms of the hands to the mat. Breathe in and bring your chest forwards. Again, maybe you stay here a little bit longer. Or maybe start pressing against the hands, lifting yourself up and bring the hands in closer to you. So we're all at the same stage now. So tucking your toes on your back leg. Breathe out, fold forwards. Breathe in, you're going to press against the hands and lift. And breathe out into your three-legged dog. And then letting that foot come down and taking some rest in downward facing dog. Your next breath in, bring the right leg up, bringing that right knee towards the nose, and then letting the lower leg come all the way to the mat. So you can work on your half pigeon as you've been doing before, depending on where you are. If you're quite high up, I'd suggest you go into your high pigeon just now and work on here, maybe walking your hands in a little bit closer, bring your chest more upright. If you've got quite a stable half pigeon, just making sure your hips are squared and facing the front of the mat. And maybe you can tuck your toes on your back leg. Maybe you bend that leg. Maybe you can even reach it. And breathe in. Work here. Doing a few breaths. Maybe you can bring a hand to the inside of that left foot. And breathe in. Come high up. Maybe you can bring your elbow, wrap it round, and breathe in. bring the right hand to join the left behind you. But please, when you're doing that, don't let your thigh roll out and work from sitting here. It'll be harder. And then it's not so nice because your chest won't be opening as much. So we're working on having the hips lifting, facing front on the mat. They're parallel to the mat. Maybe you're just working here, just on getting that descent. And wherever you are, just going for 5 breaths. And 5, hands come down, slowly releasing that back leg. Pressing the toes against the mat, breathe in, bring that right leg all the way into your 3-legged dog, and then let it come down. Whenever you're ready, other side. So breathe in, bring the left leg up, breathe out, bringing that left leg all the way forwards. Again, working wherever you are. Maybe you stay in your half pigeon. Maybe if your hips or parallel to the mat equally, you can tuck your toes on your right leg. Maybe that right leg bends. My hips come a little bit higher up when I do that, and that's okay. Maybe you're just holding on here. Breathing in, bring the left arm up. Maybe your elbow can wrap around and your left arm can reach behind your head to grip the right. Wherever you are, 5 full breaths. We can do them together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Breathe out, come down. Bringing both hands towards the mat. Pressing the hands away. Breathe out, 3-legged dog. And then letting that left leg come down. From your down dog, just bringing the knees to the mat, but leaving some space for your chest. And breathe out, child's pose. This is not the time to nap, by the way. Just relaxing our lower backs, fronts of the legs. And then we'll stretch a little bit more, just to loosen up all those muscles we've used so far. And whenever you're ready, bring your hands towards you, starting to press through to all fours. This time we're just going to do a little cat-cow as a relaxation way. So starting with your strong table pose, breathing in, dropping the belly button towards the mat, pressing the hands towards the back, bringing the chest forwards. Breathing out, curling the spine all the way, press the hands away. Breathe in, come forwards. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And then nice and slowly coming through to all fours. And just bring your legs forward so that you're sitting down. Just find your way to seated. Doesn't matter how you get there. And extending your legs in front of you. Keeping your feet active. Your toes are pressing towards you. Your legs are nice and strong. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, fold forwards. So keeping the legs nice and active, it doesn't matter how deep you go into the fold. Just trying to loosen the backs of the legs that we've just used up a lot in our mermaid pose. And then breathe in, look up. Breathe out, let go of that grip. Breathe in, sit upright. Maybe scooching on down on your mat so that you can rest your head quite nicely. So keeping your hips squared. You want to be resting your buttocks on the mat. Hopefully as much of the back as possible, but not actively trying to get your whole back. Just a nice curvature resting on the mat. I'm going to take a deep breath here. And a big sigh out. Taking out a nice deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Whenever you're ready, bring your heels towards your buttocks. We're going to breathe in. Bring the right leg to cross over the left. You're going to scooch on the hips a little bit to the right, just ever so slightly. And let the knees fall down towards the left side. Maybe you're quite comfortable here looking up. Maybe you open the arms wide if you've got the space in your house. Maybe you bend the elbows. Maybe just keep your hands on your chest, but looking over the right shoulder. As you breathe in, starting to look up again, and then letting the knees come all the way up. Letting the right foot come down toward the mat, the left foot crosses over. This time scooching on the hips to the left ever so slightly and letting the knees fall towards the right side. Again, you can put your arms whichever way you like, but looking over the left shoulder just to get that extra twist along the back. And whenever you're ready, starting to look up on your breath in, letting the knees follow, and letting the left foot come down towards the mat. Bring your hips, adjusting your back to be nice and long. And then whenever you're ready, knees towards the chest. Maybe you just give them a big cuddle. Maybe you go into your happy baby pose, rolling from side to side. Bring your hands to the backs of the knees. Roll up to sitting and prepare yourself for your Shavasana. So I'll do a guided Shavasana from here. So you can pause if you need to go and grab your blankets, your jumpers, anything to make you warm. You can pause me. Hopefully I won't end up like in your pause video, but going back to what I was doing. So just make sure you're nice and warm. Maybe have a blanket or a pillow that you can bring under your knees, so keep your knees elevated a little bit. Just making sure you'll do whatever you can to be comfortable for the next 10 minutes or so. I will abandon you before the 10 minutes are up. I'll get you through the start of your Shavasana, and just want to say now, I hope you enjoy the practice, and I hope you keep practicing at home. I'll be making more videos where you can join me and do whatever you'd like. Also, any requests for classes you'd like me to prepare for the time being, you can send them through Instagram, Facebook, or email, just however you like. If you'd like to put any requests because you really like a backbending class or a core class, whichever one. Right, and hopefully you're all ready now for Shavasana. So starting to lie down on your mats, making sure you're nice and comfortable. Closing your eyes and letting your arms come down by your sides. That little thing that's bothering you right now, now is the time to tend to it, fix it, so you can enjoy your Shavasana as well as you can. And just start relaxing on your mat, scanning for any places of tension or anxiety or anything that might be lurking out. Taking a deep breath in and a big sigh out. Relaxing that space between the eyebrows. And feeling your eyes heavy in their sockets. Softening the eyelids and the cheeks. Unclenching the jaw and relaxing the whole mouth. Relaxing the back of the neck, the front of the neck, and the shoulders. Feel your chest rising and dropping with the breath. Feel your tummy move with the breath. Relaxing the hips and the pelvis. Relaxing your inner thighs and the knees. Relaxing your calves and your ankles and your feet and your toes. Now imagining this light, this calming and soothing light, showering your whole body from the top of the head all the way down to your toes, leaving you feeling completely calm and at ease.